Mum and Dad got married in May '66. They moved straight on to Heathlands Farm and Hall Hunter Partnership started. 40 hectares of land. Dad went full bore on growing salads for the London markets, and then they evolved into a very well-known, substantial pick your own farm shop and plant centre until the end of the 80s. Mum ran the farm shop, heart and soul, whilst bringing up 4 children, and Dad grew the produce on the farm.
Well, I've always thought that I should be a grower of some sort or other. My father was a market gardener, my 3 uncles were market gardeners, and when I left school I worked on another market garden before we found Heathlands Farm.
As we got towards the back of the 80s, supermarkets thought there was a big opportunity in fresh produce. So that meant that farm shops were less successful in the UK. So we evolved away from pick your own, and then by 1993 we started supplying our first berries to the retailers, Waitrose.
Supermarkets were looking for a reliable product, and one of the things that they really demanded was soft fruit. And we committed ourselves totally to production of soft fruit.
Harry joined us in the middle 90s, and after he'd worked on the farm for a year, he said, I think I'd like to run it all, take it over. And we said, well, all right.
So I suppose my journey was very much in the 20s. I was able to learn the nuts and bolts of berry farming, so everything from the cash flow to printing labels, to driving trucks to the supermarket depots, to irrigating the crops, to growing the crops, to building Spanish tunnels. It was very fulfilling. By the end of the century, we were probably up to 1,000 tonnes of berries into the supermarkets, and then by 2019 we got up to 14,000 tonnes of berries. When we started, it was 6-week season, and then with polytunnels and the access to labour from Eastern Europe, we were able to extend the season from 6 weeks to 6 months.
In 2026, Hall Hunter will be 75 hectares of strawberries, 220 hectares of blueberries, and 50 hectares of raspberries and 4 of blackberries. We will employ 1,500 people, and most of those people will live on site, spread across 6 farms, and it's an exciting time for the business.
Well, it's all the staff. We do have obviously permanent staff, but they're also Eastern Europeans, and actually our daughter-in-law's an Eastern European, because Agnieszka, Harry's wife, came over 20 years ago as a picker, and as my friends say, how Mills and Boon, Mary.
I joined business in April 2000 as a picker. There were only 40 pickers at the time, and I think it was a fancy dress farm party. Harry was dressed as a Elvis. I think I might have been a Catwoman. We were dancing in a group, and then we were dancing together, and I remember Harry calling me the next day asking about raspberries, where I wasn't dealing with raspberries, I was dealing with strawberries, so that was a bit strange and I didn't really know what to say. That was kind of how it started, and the rest was a bit of a history. It was probably the most fun time of my life. We worked really hard and it was really lovely to meet different nationalities. We integrated really well, and there were lots of great opportunities in the business. I was in the pack house that winter, I was a supervisor the year after, then I was harvest manager.
This has always been a family business, and we worked at it and it grew with us, and now Harry's joined us, so the family's increased. And actually Harry's eldest daughter is working over at Chewsley Farm. And I hope it gives the business sort of vibes, friendly, safe, secure.
I came to Hall Hunter only for 1 season to pick strawberries. And I'm here 23 years later. I stay here because company give me a lot of opportunity to grow and to develop. I was working as the picker, as harvest manager, and now I'm leading technical functions together with our B Corp journey. Originally I'm from Poland, and coming to England it was very challenging and something new for me. But I really like it because even though Hall Hunter employs so many people, there is still family atmosphere. There is sense of belonging, sense that everyone matters.
I mean, we've got people who've been here for well over 20 years. We have an English tractor driver down. He's a bit more than a tractor driver, he's the manager of it all down there. And you say to Jeff, so Jeff, how long have you been here? Oh, I suppose 20. So I said, Jeffrey, you've been here 40 years. Have I? And that's wonderful, really.
from the farm shop to now, the size of it is unbelievable, and we seem to be growing more and more all the time. Very happy actually, and very happy for all the staff that work here. Some of them are pushing up to sort of about 29 years and that. I think it's great, and it's really, you know, it's all down to the family being here, I think.
My default position is berries are a good thing, and the more berries we can grow is better for the nation, in short. And then we have the Hall Hunter Way, and the Hall Hunter Way is about people realising their full potential and Hall Hunter being a place to thrive. And then we want to be a positive in all the communities we interact within. But it might be environmental, and it might be the local community in terms of our charity donations. And to ensure that we have that credibility that we want, we're B Corp certified, and that's never sitting still. We always have to get better, so I'm comfortable we're on the right track.
From a small pick your own farm to one that has now got the latest technology. If you think originally strawberries would have been grown in the outside with straw around them, probably in May and June and July. And now we're growing in polytunnels, in raised bed systems with green energy heating. And obviously that will give us a season now from April till December on strawberry. On blueberry, we're now the largest grower of blueberry by some margin in the UK, and demand is growing enormously.
There were definitely moments when Mark said, "Don't open the door." I was in the office and I said, "Well, why not?" He said, "Well, the bank manager might come in and shut us down." But the bank manager never did. Little moments like that. But you just take the rough with the smooth, and we're terribly, terribly lucky. We have so much, and we like to try and share it. And long may it last.
You see opportunities, take them. Trying to continue in the way you've done in the past is never going to work, and you're constantly looking at ways to move forward. That's the reason for our success, in my opinion.
60 years is a milestone, but for sure we have written an ambitious plan of expansion. The market and our customers are keen for us to continue, so the sky's the limit.
None of it would have been possible without my mum and dad and the stuff they taught me in terms of the ways to do business with integrity and the entrepreneurism, resilience, competitiveness of it, and repeatedly still showing us the way. They're still an inspiration. So thanks, Mum and Dad. And also, I think it's really important to thank all our staff. You know, without them, it would have been obviously impossible, but they continue to impress me and raise to the next challenge, and it's a fantastic journey to go on, and I hope we can continue to go on that journey and create the next berry future together.